guys are visitor hosts coming in right now, just by a show of hands? Awesome. Okay. I want the people that are visitor hosts coming in to close your eyes. Stop eating just for a second and close your eyes. You can get away from the speaker. All right. So, close your eyes. Now imagine coming to your chapter for the first time. Imagine walking through the door. What is that experience? Because outside of the rules and procedures and everything we're talking about, it is that experience that really resonates with new members, potential new members, because every visitor is a potential new member of your chapter. And much like Lisette said, every person has a dollar value to your chapter. You know, we're in this for business. And it's something that I want you to really take a look at, is just take a look at what your chapter does how they greet people, how they're introduced, how they help them get into the spirit of networking, because most of the time these people have never done it before in their lives. Or if they have done it, they haven't done it particularly well, and the best we can help them is you. So that's all I have to say about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So in talking with the region that does the best, the gentleman that took this on as a passion of his really said that he asks all the visitor hosts to visualize that he's inviting guests into their, he or she is inviting guests into their own home. And much like you wouldn't receive a stranger into your home, you would not necessarily have long-time friends come in and just figure everything out on their own, right? You welcome in, you kind of go to the ground rules, you kind of explain what's going on, and that seals the deal for most folks on what their experience is going to be like for the next hour and a half. So, I know that you guys are not here to be preached at, which makes my job really hard. But really, what we're all here for, not just today, but why we're in BNI in general, is because we're the kinds of folks that have high integrity. We're the kind of folks that want the good guy to win. We're the kind of folks that consistently want deeper relationships rather than tons of shallow relationships. We're the kind of folks that have tried, most of us, the other way, handing out business cards and hoping for coffee and having coffee only to find out that the person that you just spent the last 30 minutes with may have a heartbeat, right? We want to be with folks that we know are transacting business, and that's why we're in BNI. So I wanted to just share with you a little bit of data that's true whether you're in BNI or not. And that is, by the way, Bruce did this line was awesome. By 16 people, regardless of where you are, typically have 256 connections. The math seems to work whether you're in the United States or anywhere else in the world. 16 people typically have times 16, 256 connections. Why do we constantly talk to you and encourage you guys to do visitor days, to do stag days, to do whatever? I know there's a cynic out there that wants to believe that it's to put money in BNI's pocket. But BNI will never benefit from the return on investment that you will by growing your chapter. Let's see what happens when we double our chapter size. 32 people generally have, don't change it. How many connections do 32 people generally have? 32 times 32. So, 1,024. That's staggering to me, right? There's got to be in 1,024, 60 people that can change your life, right? So that's why we're constantly encouraging you guys to grow. You know, when I first started in BNI, and I'm not the oldest, well, I'm probably the oldest person, but I'm not the oldest member of BNI in the room. When I first started in BNI, an average chapter size, it was not embarrassing to have a chapter size of 16 to 20, right, Joe? Okay, now, the average chapter size in the United States, which is no longer leading the world in average chapter size, is 24. That's a big number shift. And I will tell you, chapters in regions that are getting beyond our wildest expectation on return on investment have average chapter size, I kid you not, Southwest Florida, of 43 members per average. That takes into account their struggling chapters and their best chapters. And guess what 43, why that's a magic number, 43 members per chapter average yields, what do you think, average return on investment per member in a year? That number is a magic number because at that number, it typically yields the exact dollar amount average per chapter, $43,000 per member chapter, per member return on investment annually. That's something that gets me excited. So, you guys know where you want to go. That may be a goal for you. It certainly is for me. If I'm going to spend the same amount of time and get double, I'm in. Tell me what I need to do. Next. Okay, so this is one that we've seen before, but we're going into. A chapter of 20 members typically has 40 referrals. A chapter of 25 typically has 53. A chapter of 30 members, this is how we get to that number of, you double your chapter size, you triple your referrals. It's not a one-to-one relationship, and it's because you increase your connections so quickly. 30 members typically has 100, and 40 member chapters typically have 120 referrals. It's worth, over what time does one have to per month. So, with a little bit of effort in growing and growing strategically, I think we can get you guys where you want to be. So again, I want to thank you guys for serving because you guys are the whole equation of getting it there. And I want to ask you guys, as you go through today, no matter how long you've been in BNI, I'd like to ask you if you would consider making your directors a part of your plan. They have been studying, they've been being coached, they've been being trained, not by me, but we've been seeking out the best in what gets the best return. So I would love for you guys to reach out. Our philosophy is that we do not want to be looked at as people who are coming into your chapter to take score. We really want you guys to see us as consultants, and so we are looking for that invitation from you to come and help you reach your goals.